Alright, hello everyone. So we're going to have a brief little tutorial on how to plot your data in Excel. So the first thing we want to do is put in our data. So we're going to have our concentration. And our absorbance. And I'm just going to make up some numbers here, but our concentrations, of course, go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 parts per million. And our absorbances, just making some numbers up, 0, 0.21, 0.38, All right, and just to make the data look a little nicer, we'll go here and center everything so it looks nice and pretty. Okay, so to plot our data out, we first of all want to select all of our data. Then we click Insert, and we go over here to our charts, and we want to insert a XY scatter plot. So we click on this, and we want to choose the one that just shows our points over here. We don't want to show any of these that connect the dots. We just want to have only the points that we've collected ourselves. Later on when we do the trend line, we'll show the trend line for those points, but we don't want to connect them at this point. So the next thing we want to do is add labels for our X and Y axes. So we'll add chart element up here. So click on that, axis title, add the horizontal, and add the vertical. And we'll just go here and type in what our axis is and the units. So this is our concentration. And the units are, of course, parts per million. For our y-axis, that's our absorbance. And there is no units on absorbance, but we're just going to list that we measure this at 650 nanometers. And then finally for our title, and by the way, if this didn't show up automatically, you could always go up here and add the chart title as well. So we'll go here and add our chart title. So this is the concentration versus absorbance. And technically I should put here this is our phosphate concentration. All right, now the next thing we want to do is add our trend line. So we'll see our data points here. So let's pick one of the data points, right click on that, and choose Add Trend Line. And we go over here to the right and scroll down, and we want to display the equation on chart and also display the R squared value on chart as well. And you can always just move this around if it's happens to lie on one of the data points. Now, this is our y equals mx plus b equation. This is our y is our absorbance, our x is our concentration. So for your unknown water samples, you measure the absorbance, and we're interested in, well, what is the concentration of those unknown samples? So we have our absorbance here, and let's just say we measured 0.5. Well, that should give us something maybe around like 2.7 or so. But again, we're just eyeballing it here. In reality, what you would do is go and take the 0.5 that you measured, that's your y, and then you would go here and solve for your x, and that would give you your concentration value. Now, as for what the R squared value means, this number up here is essentially telling us how well our points are actually matching up with our line. If all the points lied exactly on the line, R squared would be equal to 1. Now, since there's a little bit of noise in here, just from experimental error, it's going to be slightly less than 1. Now, normally you're probably going to get anywhere above 0.95 is generally going to be pretty good. If you're much lower than that, as you approach 0, that essentially means your data points are just all over the place. But here, like 0.99, that would be excellent. But if I moved like one of these down to 0.23 or something, you would see that obviously the R squared value goes way down. So as we get closer and closer to 1, that's ideal. And that's basically it. You just have to go and print this out, and you should be good to go.